All right, cool. So today I want to present the Marketing Cloud Connect, and I'm going to do it a little bit different than what I was kind of planning on doing, which was kind of showing you the system as I was setting up Marketing Cloud Connect. And the only reason I stopped thinking about doing that is because I actually have a YouTube playlist that goes through all of the instructions for setting up Marketing Cloud Connect. So if you're interested in seeing how it's actually set up, since it would be pretty hard for me to do it today while we're on this call, I will put the link to that YouTube playlist for you to check out the full playlist. So before we get started, let me just go ahead and share that link with everybody, just in case you want to save this Marketing Cloud Connect playlist later on here. So really quick, if you do want to see how Marketing Cloud Connect is set up step by step, just go ahead and click on that playlist. Now, what I want to do here as I'm explaining Marketing Cloud Connect to everybody is first just talk about what's going to be on the Marketing Cloud admin exam. And with that being said, let's just go ahead and look at the Marketing Cloud Trailhead tab, which I just had open. I'm just going to share my screen here really quick and pull up the Marketing Cloud Administrator certification and just kind of talk about what you're going to be expected to know about Marketing Cloud Connect on that certification. So let's go ahead. I'll share my screen here. And you should all see this Marketing Cloud Administrator certification outline, exam outline here. So I'll go to the exam guide and we'll just quickly cover what's expected of you for Marketing Cloud Connect. That way you're prepared. And when I'm explaining Marketing Cloud Connect, you have some reference here. So I'll go to the exam outline. And first, the only thing that I can find on the on Marketing Cloud Connect for the Marketing Cloud Administrator certification is under this setup area here and kind of a little bit under maintenance here. So there's nothing that explicitly on this exam outline speaks about Marketing Cloud Connect if we open up all these sections. So right now, what we're expected to do is determine how to configure an integration. So when you think of configuring an integration, how do you actually set Marketing Cloud Connect up from scratch? And do you understand how to do that? And do you understand the discrepancies, contingencies upon some of the actions that you take? So we will be covering that. We will be covering the setup of Marketing Cloud Connect. And we'll also just quickly look at this one feature or what you should be able to do under audience description for the Marketing Cloud admin exam, which is just knowledge of Marketing Cloud integration offerings. And as we can see, the very last one here is Marketing Cloud Connect. So just want to kind of, if you're confused, help you out to kind of help you understand that, there is documentation on this and there is a process to actually setting up Marketing Cloud Connect so you're able to pass this section on the exam. So let's go ahead and I'll move this over here. Let's go ahead and start with this lucid chart that I started out here, that I want to start out here and present to everybody. If you were on my last session that I was here for, which was just kind of the Marketing Cloud overview, you'll know that I like using PDFs, lucid charts, and things like that to kind of make all of the concepts very visual for you. So as we know, we can't access Marketing Cloud if you don't actually work for a company that uses Marketing Cloud. There's no sandbox or playground for Marketing Cloud. So what's the next best way to kind of just show you the features? It's either for me to demo it for you, which is what that playlist is for, or just kind of show you visually what you can do with Marketing Cloud Connect. So let's go ahead and start with this first page here. I'm just going to give you a breakdown of how to kind of, use Marketing Cloud Connect once it's set up. So first thing I want to start off here with is this is something you're going to actually need to know for the Marketing Cloud Administrator exam, and the Marketing Cloud Consultant exam. You'll need to just be aware as you're starting out of which objects in Salesforce can you actually send to, and what's kind of the benefit, what's one of the benefits of using Marketing Cloud Connect. So objects within Salesforce that you can send to are the lead object, the contact object, and person account object, if you set person accounts up. You can also send to, Salesforce reports and Salesforce campaigns. So members of your Salesforce campaigns, you can actually set up right within Journey Builder. So going along with the session that just ended about Journey Builder, you can actually use Marketing Cloud Connect to insert campaign members from within Sales or Service Cloud over into your journeys. And that's how you start to understand how powerful Marketing Cloud Connect is whenever you connect your CRM data to your Marketing Cloud automation platform. So just go ahead and take notes that these are the 5 objects that you can actually send messages to within Salesforce when you're using the Marketing Cloud Connect. So the unique identifier, which is something you're going to have to get really familiar with if you haven't already inside of Marketing Cloud. The unique identifier is usually the subscriber key within Marketing Cloud. So if you've heard that term, subscriber key, you should become very cognizant, very aware of that word, because the subscriber key has a lot of, there's a lot that rides on the subscriber key. The subscriber key is a very important aspect of Marketing Cloud. So I highly suggest that you really dive deep into it. But without diving too deep into subscriber key, I just want to mention here that whenever you actually insert your CRM data, like your lead or your contact or a person account record, like let's say you have a lead object and the lead object's name is Sumanth. So I'm looking at some names here. So let's say the lead object's record here is Sumanth here. When we actually put Sumanth into Marketing Cloud, then what's going to happen is Sumanth's lead record ID. So that there's a unique record ID that every lead has, every contact has, every account, every object, every opportunity. It's the unique identifier. So that unique identifier, that lead ID, is going to actually be mapped over into Salesforce or into Marketing Cloud, and be the subscriber key in Marketing Cloud. So that's getting very deep into it, but I just want you to understand how these objects actually map over into Marketing Cloud, into your data extensions. So that's just a really quick overview of that little process there. Once you actually send to those leads, let's see what happens on the back end in Marketing Cloud. So the first step that you can do, let's say you pull all of your leads over into a report and you actually want to send a Marketing Cloud message to that report from within Salesforce. Well, what's going to happen is you're going to use the data import activity. So if you haven't already covered the data import activity and what that does within Automation Studio, make sure to just go ahead and check that activity and all the other activities out in Automation Studio. Understanding Automation Studio activities and Journey Builder activities are always going to be a big portion of the Email Specialist exam, the Marketing Cloud Administrator exam, Developer exam, and Consultant exam. So it's going to be very imperative that you understand all the activities in Automation Studio. But we're going to be using this data import activity to import that report automatically if we want to. This is if we want to automate this process. And I'll give you a reason why you might or might not want to automate a process here in a second. But if you're automating the process of pulling a report from Salesforce into Marketing Cloud, then what you're going to need to do is just understand the implications of that actually happening, which we'll get into some of the more finer details here in a second. But basically, there's 2 ways for your users to kind of access or see your data inside of Salesforce and Marketing Cloud. One of them is non-scope by user, and the other is scope by user. So if you're automating an import from your Salesforce report through Automation Studio, and you're actually pulling that data into Marketing Cloud straight from your Salesforce report, automatically that that data is going to be pulled in based off of the Salesforce system users access, which is pretty much admin access. The next way is you can actually manually import that data of your Salesforce reports into Marketing Cloud data extensions. And with that being said, scope by user is actually honored if you have that turned on, which we'll talk about that here in a second. But without me getting too deep into the details, basically, once you import the data from your Salesforce report and you automate it, pull it over through Automation Studio, put it into a data extension, that data now sits into a data extension, which I'm pretty sure everybody here is aware of what a data extension is. So that data is sitting there in Email Studio or Contact Builder. And then you actually have the option to choose what to do with that data in that data extension. So just as a very quick example, just leading off of our last presentation, we have Journey Builder. So let's say we have that data in a data extension, which all started from a Salesforce report. We can now send an email to that data extension as an entry source using Journey Builder. So you can kind of see how it all comes full circle, how you're taking data from Salesforce right from the beginning. Let's just say in a report, and you're pulling that data into now data extensions in Salesforce, and then you're actually sending to that data. And that entire process could be automated. It may take a while to kind of map out exactly what you need. It may take an entire team. But at the end of the day, when you can say, I have pulled all my data from Salesforce that I need for this send automatically, because my data needs to sit in Salesforce first, because that's my CRM. If you can say you can pull all of that data, pull it straight into Marketing Cloud, have an automation run to import it to where it needs to go, data filters, SQL queries, segment the data to where they need to be in their buckets, and then journeys actually starting based off of those, based off of new customers entering into a journey, you can kind of see how your business could really skyrocket and scale once you start to integrate your sales and marketing efforts. So if all of that was kind of like over your head, hopefully this recording is up pretty soon so you can go back and watch what I just said again. But that's kind of the gist. That's the overall reason why you'd want to use Marketing Cloud Connect, to pull that data that should already live inside of Salesforce into Marketing Cloud, which is one of the most, probably, if not the most powerful marketing automation tool in the entire world. So with that being said, now that we understand kind of the streamline of the data and how it actually flows and the purpose of using Marketing Cloud Connect, let's actually go to some of the important things you're going to need to know for the Marketing Cloud Admin exam, and in the future for the Marketing Cloud Consultant exam. So let's go ahead and just click on this scope by user versus non-scope by user. What does this actually even mean? So we kind of want to understand two or three pretty important prerequisites before we actually even get into setting up Marketing Cloud Connect. First thing we kind of want to understand here, and this can come in any order, is scope by user versus non-scope by user. So scope by user is a very important aspect for the level of access that your users can actually see. So everything inside of Salesforce really all comes down to data, right? So all we're really putting into Salesforce or Marketing Cloud is data. So we need to make sure that data is secured. One of the first things you do when you learn about being a Salesforce admin or Marketing Cloud admin is how to actually secure your data with org-wide defaults, sharing settings, permission sets, profiles, all types of different things, roles. So one of the first things we're going to pay attention to is what sort of data access are we giving to our customers. Now, this is very important. Remember at the very beginning of when I started, I mentioned you're going to need to know the prerequisites and steps for Marketing Cloud Connect setup so that you understand whatever you're choosing in step 1 has implications on step 7 or maybe 7 days after you set up Marketing Cloud Connect and you don't see a user's access or you can't see some certain field. You need to understand it all actually ties back to what we're talking about right here with scope by user versus non-scope by user. So these are the settings that are going to determine a lot of things that you're going to you and your users will experience a month from now, a year from now, 2 years from now, when they're using Marketing Cloud Connect. So scope by user is very important because basically what it says is that the user that is accessing the data that needs to be run inside of those reports is basically only going to be able to see the records that they own, right? So think about inside of Salesforce. If you have any experience with as a Salesforce admin or in Sales or Service Cloud, you need to understand that, when you are a sales user or when you're an end user that's not a Salesforce admin, we've all practiced inside of Trailhead as a Salesforce system administrator. So we all understand what it's like to have view all and modify all access everywhere. But other users, they've never seen that before. So all they've ever seen is the records that they own if we have org-wide defaults turned on. So let's say that we have our leads or our contacts set to private for our org-wide defaults. Well, the user who's running a report may only just be able to see 10 leads or 10 records. And if they're running a report, then they want to be able to, they're going to send to those records within that report, those 10 records. That's scope by user. Now, non-scope by user says, even though I'm a sales rep and I only have 10 leads, let's just say I have an entire sales rep team in the United States and I've got 7 other people and they all have 10 leads. Well, that's an extra 70 records. So essentially inside this report I'm looking at, I may only be able to see my 10 records, but when I actually press send to this report, I'm actually going to send to 80 records total. So I'm going to send to all records because I really can't see what I'm not supposed to see. So you may be wondering, why would somebody ever use non-scope by user versus scope by user? Scope by user just seems like it takes care of all the data. Well, the answer to that is over here in this reason number 1 to use, which is, let's just say you have a Salesforce org or you're working in a Salesforce org that has no org-wide defaults or sharing settings set up. So if that's the case, it really doesn't matter for you to have scope by user set up because everything's already public read, maybe even public read write, public read write transfer. So it really wouldn't even matter for you to set up scope by user because you can see everything anyways. So that's the reason you would use non-scope by user. So for anyone who does have org-wide defaults set up or sharing settings set up inside of their Salesforce system, make sure you set up scope by user when you're setting up Marketing Cloud Connect because that's probably the most logical one to choose here based off of what I mentioned. So now that we understand scope by user and we understand, remember, data is the most important thing. That's why I started off with data. Let's go ahead and talk about what else you'll be tested on the Marketing Cloud Administrator and Marketing Cloud, even Marketing Cloud Consultant cert when you actually do attempt to get that one. So connected app authentication. This is something that I didn't really pay that much attention to because I was like, what in the world is connected app authentication? It doesn't make sense. I'm not a super developer, so I don't care about connected app authentication. It just seemed like the word API to me. Like when I first saw this, I was like, it just seemed too developer-y. So I want you to just know that this step in the Marketing Cloud Connect setup process is actually not developer related at all. And this is a very important aspect to setting up Marketing Cloud Connect because this is essentially the kind of like the key. This is like the key that actually opens up the door for Salesforce and for Marketing Cloud and says, hey, come in data from Salesforce and then come in tracking results from Marketing Cloud, and the two can actually interchange and exchange data. So the connected app authentication is that key that opens up both doors to be able to transfer data back and forth. So without this, you have no key, which means you have no connection. So this connected app authentication is the secure authentication mechanism. I really don't want to go over a ton of everything here because I don't want to bore you with everything that it does. But as you can see on here, it is that key. And the biggest thing I want you to realize for the exam is that connected app authentication, if you're ever troubleshooting, if there's a question on the exam about troubleshooting Marketing Cloud Connect, it's probably going back to connected app authentication, or it's the fact that you don't have that set up properly, or the fact that you may have non-scope by user versus scope by user or something like that. So, but one of the things that you'll see on the exam, which I don't know the exact type of question, but you will be tested upon your ability to troubleshoot. That is a big portion of the Marketing Cloud Administrator exam. And your ability to troubleshoot Marketing Cloud Connect is going to be dependent upon you understanding what connected app authentication is and what these other topics that I'm discussing here are all about. So one of the big things I want to mention here is that for SOAP and REST API calls, you are not going to be counted towards your 24-hour rolling limit. So you can make as many REST and SOAP API calls as you want back and forth between the two systems. And there's not going to be, it's pretty much kind of like, it's just kind of like a hall pass. You can just kind of use it whenever. So that's the really good thing also about connected app authentication. And then your users are also just automatically inherited or authenticated into Salesforce from Marketing Cloud. Whenever you do set up that integration, you don't have to store those Marketing Cloud passwords inside of Salesforce. So highly recommend that you look up connected app authentication. The next thing I want to show you here is I want to show you all the different roles inside of Marketing Cloud. So the biggest thing, once again, for this exam is, understanding the data, how the Marketing Cloud works, understanding the data access, which we talked about with scope by user versus non-scope by user, connected app authentication for troubleshooting, and then Marketing Cloud Connect user types. This is what confused me the most when I first started out with Marketing Cloud Connect. And I actually made this diagram within the last, I would say 30 minutes right before we got on this call. Because I thought, what's the best way to kind of show everybody all the different user types right within Salesforce and Marketing Cloud when you're setting up Marketing Cloud Connect. So the biggest thing I was confused about, and this is what I really want everyone to really write down, I want you to understand very well, is I want you to understand these two users here, the Marketing Cloud Connect API user and the Salesforce system user. Okay, so within Salesforce, if I pull up, or within the Salesforce help documentation, if I pull up the different Marketing Cloud Connect user types and permissions, you're probably going to be reading this, and there's nothing here that kind of tells you, hey, this is very important. It does, but you have to read into it. So the Salesforce system user right here, kind of have to read in here that says this user is required to complete the account level connection, right? Like it doesn't bold required, it doesn't, capitalize it, but I want you to realize how important the Salesforce system user is. And these two are right next to each other, the Salesforce system user and the Marketing Cloud Connect API user. Very, very important. I'm going to take this away and just say this here, like you've got to be able to really understand what these two do for the connection. But without these two users set up, this user on the left being set up in Marketing Cloud and this user on the right in the blue being set up in Salesforce. Notice I did that because, most of the time Marketing Cloud logos are, I think, kind of orangish tint, and then Salesforce is blue. So you can tell the difference in where these users will be set up at. But very, very important. It's also very important that both of these users are just dedicated system users. And it's not like necessarily you being the Salesforce system user or you being the Marketing Cloud Connect API user. This is a user that's kind of like a robot that is a user all day, all the time. So you just need to know the username and password for this user And essentially they act as the connection port between the two systems so they can talk to each other. Now, once again, none of this works without connected app authentication, but just have to know these are two very important parts of Marketing Cloud Connect setup. So everything else really is just the users that go in and out of Marketing Cloud inside of Marketing Cloud and Marketing Cloud Connect inside of Salesforce and Service Cloud. So like the Marketing Cloud Administrator, that's you right now. That's the cert you're studying for. You're studying for the Marketing Cloud Admin cert to be a Marketing Cloud admin. So that is essentially just another role inside of, this entire setup piece. Now, the Marketing Cloud Connect admin is another role that we kind of get on this setup menu here, which is the, Marketing Cloud Connect admin. If I can find that, oh yeah, right here. This person manages the setup in Sales or Service Cloud. But in all actuality, let's say that you're working for a company, and this actually happened to me when I first set up Marketing Cloud Connect. When I was setting up Marketing Cloud Connect, I was the system admin inside of our Service Cloud org, and I was the Marketing Cloud admin inside of our Marketing Cloud org. So essentially, I wasn't necessarily the Marketing Cloud Connect admin or just the Salesforce admin, which I just kind of wrote, there's a line between the two because they can be the same person. I was both. I was the Salesforce admin. I had access to Service Cloud. I was a system admin in Service Cloud. And I was also a Marketing Cloud admin inside of Marketing Cloud. So we just we have these two different distinctions inside of the Salesforce help document on, Marketing Cloud admin being this person that configures Marketing Cloud within Sales or Service Cloud. And then we have Salesforce admin, who's like the actual Salesforce admin inside of Sales or Service Cloud. But essentially the two are the same. They're the same exact person. So, or they can be two separate people if you actually have a dedicated user for that specific purpose. But most of the time, as with myself, I was both roles, the Salesforce admin and Marketing Cloud Connect admin. Now, Marketing Cloud Connect user, that's the last one left here, which is the people that will actually be using the functionality of Marketing Cloud Connect. So these are people that'll be going inside of, Salesforce and sending to, a lead or a contact, or they might be the person that's going into Marketing Cloud and actually, sending a message to a group of users from a synchronized data extension that's now filtered. And, so these are the people that are actually using Marketing Cloud Connect. So I just really want you to know for the user types here that, the two biggest ones I really want you to know for the exam are Marketing Cloud Connect API user and Salesforce system user. And I want you to know exactly what they do in relation to being set up together. So with that being said, we now have a foundation built upon the actual setup of Marketing Cloud Connect. Now, this is actually something that I find extremely valuable because I think everybody can go to help documentation, can kind of watch the YouTube videos that I sent about Marketing Cloud Connect. But until you have a checklist or a step-by-step procedure for how to set up Marketing Cloud Connect, it really doesn't matter. You can read through as much documentation as possible, but you're only going to go so far as you can remember. And when you're actually setting up and configuring Marketing Cloud Connect, you need to have something that is just there for you. Like, how when you go to the grocery store, when you go without a grocery list versus when you go with the grocery list, usually you're more focused, hopefully, but I know I'm more focused when I go into the grocery store with a grocery list because I know I need to get eggs, milk, whatever else, some chicken or something like that. And I'm there and I'm just knocking off the items on my list. This is essentially what I've done for Marketing Cloud Connect. So you're not always having to remember, did I do this step the right way? Did I do number 6 before I did number 8? And then, you actually know the step-by-step procedure of setting up Marketing Cloud Connect when you start to see this structure here. So this is why I didn't really want to show you how to set up Marketing Cloud Connect, because I've got the YouTube videos for that. I wanted to show you the structure of setting up Marketing Cloud Connect, the framework, because if you can take this framework for the company you're working for, you can take this and use it for the next company that you're working for, or for a future company, or maybe you're going in for a job interview and they ask you what you know about Marketing Cloud Connect. As you're studying, you're actually learning about it, so you could actually talk about it in an interview. So it's also really good to know the structure for that reason. So as you can see here, there's actually 15 steps to actually to setting up Marketing Cloud Connect completely. So there's 15 steps you have to follow. Some of these steps go by really quick, but you just need to make sure you follow all 15. And we're just going to cover these 15 while we're on the call here today, and just leave some time later today for a Q&A as I finish this up. But so far, I've kind of already covered what we need to understand as far as, setting the system up with our prerequisites. So the first two items here are just, understanding prerequisites. So you just need to understand the Marketing Cloud Connect user type. So we covered that with the different users. Remember, the two most important users are the system user and the Marketing Cloud Connect API user. So understand those roles. Second step is to understand the data access that you want to give to your users. Do you want to give them scope by user or non-scope by user? That's going to be more of a manager related question, or just understanding how your Salesforce system is set up with org-wide defaults. And then the third thing, and I've labeled all of these steps, I tell you whether or not you should do them in Salesforce or Marketing Cloud. So step 3, you want to download and install the Marketing Cloud Connect managed package. So Marketing Cloud Connect, it's just a package. It's just a package you can download from this link right here. I've included the link. So if you need to download it, you just go to this link and you open it up, and then you download it to your Salesforce org. And it's just a managed package, which means Salesforce will, when it updates by Salesforce, it'll automatically go into your org. So that's done in Salesforce. The next thing that's done in Salesforce, step 4, is you need to make sure you apply your admin permissions in Marketing Cloud Connect. So with that managed package comes all types of different tabs, permissions, all types of different Visualforce pages, and a ton of different items that come with the managed package. And with that, you need to add in this new thing called the Marketing Cloud for App Exchange user permission and admin permission to the user page layout, and then give the system admin or your system user both of those permissions. So that's done in Salesforce. The next thing, which is very important, is that system user. Remember, super, super important that you set up that Salesforce system user. Out of all those users I mentioned, it was API user and Salesforce system user. That's the next step here. You're going to set that person up. They're going to be a system admin in Salesforce. They are going to have a Salesforce license, and you will give them the Marketing Cloud for App Exchange user and admin permissions. And that's going to be your user, which is going to pull data back and forth between Salesforce. So that's done in Salesforce. Step 6, which is done in Marketing Cloud. This is going to be now time for you to actually connect the two clouds in Email Studio. So you're going to actually go into Email Studio. You're going to click Salesforce integration. If you want to do scope by user, you click the checkbox. If not, then you don't. That's all covered in the YouTube tutorials that I've given you a link to. And then you're going to go ahead and create the system user, connect your account to Salesforce, and that process is, once that process is complete, what you're going to do is you're going to create the Marketing Cloud Connect API user, which is, remember, the second super valuable user, Marketing Cloud Connect API user and Salesforce system user. You're going to create the Marketing Cloud API user, and you're going to basically say that that user connects to your Marketing Cloud or your Sales Cloud system user. So once you do that, you need to give that Marketing Cloud API user 2 different roles inside of Marketing Cloud. which are the Marketing Cloud Administrator role and the Marketing Cloud, or the Administrator role in Marketing Cloud and Marketing Cloud Administrator role. So once you set that user up, then what you're going to do is you're going to connect the two users together. So that's a process that once again is covered inside of the Salesforce or inside of the playlist that I sent over. But you're going to want to connect your Marketing Cloud Connect API user to your Salesforce system user so the two can interact and speak with each other. So that's going to be done in Marketing Cloud. So that user that you just created in Marketing Cloud, you'll click an integrate button when you've selected that user, and then you will integrate that user to the Salesforce system user that you created in Salesforce on step 5. So the user that you created on step 5 is going to show back up whenever you're mapping that user in step 8. So as you can see from the beginning, remember, everything's going to be contingent upon or related upon something that you did earlier. So after you set those two users together up, you are going to assign business units to the Marketing Cloud API user. This is where things get fun. So, you know, in Marketing Cloud, you have the highest level of a Marketing Cloud edition, which is an Enterprise 2.0 account. Now, everything that you saw from Natasha's presentation or anything else that you've seen so far in Marketing Cloud has been tested and shown to you inside an Enterprise 2.0 account. So you've been spoiled, but it's also the best way to kind of show you the functionality, the full functionality of Marketing Cloud, because Enterprise 2.0 has, everything that Marketing Cloud has to offer as far as Journey Builder, Marketing Cloud Connect enabled, Automation Studio, you know, and things like that. So the only type of org that has multiple business units is an Enterprise 2.0 type of Marketing Cloud org. So you've got to have that before you can even, you know, do step 9. If you don't, then you just won't do step 9 here. So it's kind of a long-winded way of saying, understand which Marketing Cloud org you have access to, which one you're actually using, because if you don't have Enterprise 2.0 edition, step 9 won't even be useful to you. So then you're going to assign your business units to that Marketing Cloud Connect API user. So the reason why this is done is because the access that this Marketing Cloud API user has to the business units is going to determine when you hop back over in Salesforce, hey, which business units can I actually see using this connector? So if we give the Marketing Cloud Connect API user access to, let's say, every business unit, then when we hop back over into Salesforce and we are connected, we can see every business unit's sort of just that data. So if we only have 1 or 2 business units selected out of, let's say, 9 business units total for the Marketing Cloud Connect API user, when we hop back into Salesforce, we can only see those 1 or 2 business units because that Marketing Cloud Connect API user determines our access inside of Salesforce to the business units inside of Marketing Cloud. So hopefully that makes sense. Basically, whatever the Marketing Cloud admin has access to, when you hop back into Salesforce, you're going to see that access. So that applies to those business units. Now you apply those business units to the Marketing Cloud API user. And then what you're going to do is you're going to finally set up connected app authentication. So what you're doing with connected app authentication is you're going through a series of about 3 to 4 steps. It's about 4 steps inside of this step 10 process overall, which is kind of only explainable whenever you just watch the YouTube series when I get to connected app authentication, because essentially you've got to go through a few steps to actually set up or connected app authentication. And for me to try to explain that process to you, I would just say it's better for you to just click the link on the YouTube playlist and just watch that. That's going to be done in Salesforce. And for updating field level security, essentially what we're going to do here is there's a few fields that came with the Salesforce Marketing Cloud Managed package And those fields are the email opt-out fields. And we need to make those fields visible on the lead page layout and on the contact page layout. Those are required by law for our sales reps or whoever's using Marketing Cloud Connect to be able to have access to check. That's done in Salesforce. If you're familiar with page layouts, you understand what I'm talking about there on step 11. On step 12, step 11 is setting field level security. So that's field level security, not necessarily putting that field onto a page layout. So we set the field level security to give the correct profiles access to that field for the email opt-out field. And then we actually update the page layout after that. So as you can see, this is not these aren't super long steps. Like I said, there's going to be some steps that are going to be pretty quick. Updating field level security in Salesforce as an admin, that's like a 30-second job. You just need to find the field. And then updating the page layouts, the only thing that you're going to need to know is where do I need to put the field at on the page layout, and which page layout do I put the field on? And that's, you know, a quick conversation and a quick 5 to 10 minutes. And you've got step 12 complete. So you're just adding on, you know, these related lists, which are the email sends and individual email results related lists to your lead and contact objects or page layouts. And then once you set the page layouts up, you're actually setting up the Marketing Cloud Connect inside of Sales Cloud or Service Cloud. So you'll click Launch the Setup Wizard. And once you launch the setup wizard, essentially what you're doing here is you're determining your IP addresses that you want to allow list. You're creating your required workflows, and you're setting up new permission sets inside of here. Now, this is preferred. Like, it would be preferred for you to do the setup wizard when you first set up Marketing Cloud, because if you don't set up, you know, the Marketing Cloud connector inside of Salesforce with the setup launch wizard, you'll have to manually set up your IP allow list, your workflows, your permission sets. You have to set all that stuff up, but the setup wizard will set all that stuff up for you automatically. So step 14, which is, and that's done in Salesforce, step 13. Step 14 is done in Salesforce as well. You want to make sure that when you have the Marketing Cloud connector set up through the setup launch wizard, you want to go ahead and officially connect over into Marketing Cloud right from within the setup wizard. So that's the last stage to really saying, hey, now I'm going to go and find the Marketing Cloud API users information, and I'm going to put in their username and credentials, and then I'm going to connect officially to Marketing Cloud. So that step 14 is the official connection. Now, I have step 15, which is done partially in Marketing Cloud and partially in Salesforce. So this is where you actually manage and integrate your users. So remember, we've already got our Marketing Cloud Connect API user, our Marketing Cloud system user connected. Now, how do we actually integrate users who are in Sales Cloud or in Marketing Cloud? How do we connect that same user who has access to both systems together? So what you're going to do in Marketing Cloud is you're going to go to the user you actually want to integrate. So you're going to go to that user record. You're going to edit that user record, click integrate, and then you're going to give that user the following permissions, and then integrate them with their Salesforce CRM username. And then when you go to Sales Cloud, you're going to go to your Marketing Cloud tab, you'll go to your users inside of Salesforce, and you'll select that user to be integrated into Marketing Cloud. So that's like a two-step process. You've got to integrate from Marketing Cloud, integrate from Salesforce to connect your users together once that connection is actually set. So hopefully you all understand the 15 steps, the most important things to really understand before you actually even get started, these little tabs that I showed here. And then, you know, hopefully you finally understand the 15-step process to setting up Marketing Cloud Connect and where it actually, where each step should actually be done in. So this is something I wish I had when I was first starting out. So I'm glad that I'm able to create something like this for anybody who is doing a Marketing Cloud Connect project or studying like you are for this portion of the exam, because it kind of just gives you straight to the point access to what you need to know for Marketing Cloud Connect. With that being said, that is all I have for the presentation today. I will take questions and answers here.
This is really amazing, Kaylin, and this is one of the best sessions that I have seen on MC Connect. And the way that you have presented it, it's not the regular presentation, but it's very detailed and very easy to understand. I really appreciate you. And in the last minute, you did all these changes, and it's really awesome. Thank you very much. Yeah, this is really great content. And this bootcamp, we wanted this bootcamp to be helpful for everybody, like the beginners in Marketing Cloud, not just the persons who are preparing for the certification. And all of the sessions are covered in a detailed way, and for sure, Marketing Cloud Connect. This session helps people to understand what goes into the MC Connect setup. And following these steps, one can go ahead and configure the MC Connect. And with that, we can wrap up this session, and we look forward to seeing you all in the Ask Me Anything panel, which is on 18th of November, 3 p.m. same time. See you again, and you have a good one. Take care. Thank you once again.
Have a great day, everyone.
Bye.